Hi, it's Lori F. Dean. I'm down here hanging out on the dock beside where we live. Good chunk of the lake is frozen, but as you can tell, there are parts of the water showing through, parts of the lake that aren't frozen. The sun is out. It is an absolutely gorgeous day, and I really like to come down here on days like this when there's not much wind and just enjoy the moment. However, in order to get on this dock, I had to break some rules. There's a bar with chains that go right across, and they say, "Do not enter, do not go down on the dock." Now, supposedly it's for my safety in case I slip and fall on the dock, or I slip right off the dock and fall on the ice and then fall through the ice into the water and all of that. But sometimes I think people put up signs and enforce rules just so they won't be liable if something happens. So this got me thinking about all kinds of things, including rules and regulations. And so here's my question for you today. Is it just me? Do you think our society has too many rules? Now, there are certain laws and rules that I think are valid. Of course, the rules of the road. Making sure we all obey them and we're all safe on the road is really valuable to all of us, and I think it is initially for all of our safety. But what about some of the other ones? There's a great Canadian group called the Five Man Electrical Band who had a huge hit in the 70s with a song called Signs. And there's a line in it that says, "Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the signs?" And the more I go around North America, particularly in Canada and the States, the more I notice these signs, these postings that tell us not to trespass or not to do this or please do that. When we were in Mexico, one of the things I noticed right away was the lack of signs, the lack of posting of those rules and regulations. Now, of course, traffic laws are to be obeyed there, although in some cases they look like suggestions. But in other places, there really isn't a lot of worry about, I guess, liability. We were in Oaxaca, Mexico, and crews were working on the streets. They were repairing streets, and there were huge holes that went down probably 8 or 10 feet. And there were workers in the holes, and there were workers around the holes fixing the roads and putting in new pipes and things. And one of the things I noticed was there was no barriers to keep people from tumbling into the hole. And yet somehow the people managed to walk around the holes safely, to avoid falling into the pits, and to basically be accountable for their own safety. When we were on the beaches in Mexico too, there was one in particular where swimmers and boats were all one. The people would pull their boats right into almost close to the shore, as close as they could get, drop anchor, jump out in water up to their knees, and then proceed to walk to the shore from there. Meanwhile, people were swimming all around the boat. And yet somehow, nobody got run over with a boat. Everybody respected each other's space in the water. Also, at the same place, people would be climbing on these rocks, very sharp, craggy rocks. And if you slipped off those, you'd fall into the water, which held other sharp and craggy rocks underneath the surface. I saw young kids climbing up on these things with their parents, and these kids were as agile as mountain goats. They really seemed sure-footed and confident. No signs saying stay off the rocks. No warnings of fines or imprisonment for disobeying the rules. And yet again, somehow, everybody seemed to be fine and confident and comfortable and accountable for their own safety and for the safety of their family. So I don't know. Sometimes I think we have too many rules, telling people the do's and the don'ts, the shoulds and the should nots. And I'm wondering if it's just me, or do you think we have too many rules as well? Let me know your thoughts, please. Once again, put the comments below and subscribe by clicking the button above. I'm Lori F. Dean, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow. Thanks.